Hello everybody, and thanks for joining us for this session. My name is Andrew Winders, and I'm Senior Manager of the Business Solutions Group at FIS. Joining me is Anil Khurmi, who's Manager at Zanders.
Hi all.
So today we're going to be discussing what digitalisation actually means. Why is it becoming ever more important, and how can you accelerate your move to digital?
Thanks, Andrew, and welcome everyone. So as mentioned, to kick off, I want to briefly define what is meant by digitalisation. Now, building on the high-level definition you can see on the screen, we define digitalisation as the adoption of technology to transform services or businesses by replacing manual processes with digital processes or replacing older technology with newer ones. We're not just saying this means replacing existing Excel methods with treasury systems or existing treasury systems with new ones. Digitalisation for treasury should mean much more than simply replacement. For example, introducing automation of processes, bots for dealing, new technology to perform new processes, such as machine learning to enhance the accuracy of cash flow forecasting.
Yeah, very interesting. I think what does digitalisation actually mean? For me, this is really about the harmonisation of technology across all financial functions. This is about having technology delivered in a clear and coherent digital strategy. More and more we're seeing organisations establish their digital policy. We are seeing the need to simplify frameworks for the ease of collaboration and the visibility of information. And we're definitely seeing all of these things put together, the harmonisation, the coherent strategy, the simplification of frameworks. All of this is establishing the best practice operating model for technology.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think one of the points we haven't touched on is the digitisation of data and its potential uses. And going digital, naturally, you're going to have a lot more data available. That's data that perhaps was previously inaccessible. Now you have it recorded in a structured format. You can analyse and report on it, or at the very least, you can store it or archive it in some form of data lake for future analysis, should the need arise.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think what we've seen in a recent survey, everybody that was surveyed, 67% of those surveyed said that over the next 12 months, they're going to be increasing their investment in digital technology. This is something that is very, very much now on the roadmap. It's foreseen to be a very immediate need and maybe accelerated by COVID, but digital strategies are more and more important to everybody across the board these days. So this is what does digitalisation mean? But why should we make the move to digital? So we really know what the question is. But this is about why. Why should we make that move? Now, we know that the current economic environment is challenging, is forcing Treasury to refocus its priorities. Now, increasingly, a Treasury needs to understand the health of the business, the working capital metrics of the business. And measuring working capital, for example, is more than just cash availability. The receivables and accuracy around receivables, control of the payables, visibility of cash, visibility across stock and inventory. So really measuring all the elements of working capital and being able to manage working capital, which is a change to the priorities of a treasurer 12 months ago. There's also the other risks, the FX volatility, the interest rate risk, the commodity volatility, the cyber risk, the liquidity risk. All of these risks become enhanced and heightened because of the change in working practice that we experience today. So where are we now? We are seeing very much that many organisations have developed an internal centre of excellence around digital technology strategy. And this is different to maintaining technology. This is about having a strategy around digitisation. And what this means is this enables the Treasury to become digital, to have a framework across all their technologies and a fully integrated platform. So we see that organisations that have built strategy are really looking to leverage the cloud technology. A clear move to cloud technologies has been seen over the last 12 to 18 months, again, potentially accelerated by the pandemic. but cloud technology enables a platform of visibility end to end, with the focus now on adopting technology as a service.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned the current economic environment, and I think for us, much for the same reasons, we feel that treasury functions need to make that move to digital in order to deliver in what's becoming a rapidly changing landscape. You have increasing pace of regulatory change. You've got disruption and evolution of long-standing business models. You've got volatile economic conditions, and alongside that, you have all of these fast-growing technological developments. There's many areas that digital can help. So to me, by going digital, it just means that you become more efficient, you've got more standardization across the business, there's greater accuracy, and you have more insights into your data to help with decision making. And that's even before we begin to consider cost savings that can be realized, not only because you're less reliant on manual repetitive tasks, but also possibly due to using new products such as EBAM, bank fee analysis, payment factories to lower your settlement costs. Another point I think is important to recognise is that one of the drivers for moving to digital is the change in expectations around how software platforms are delivered. As you can see on the screen, 72% of respondents indicated that treasury adoption as a service is the most important development to a treasurer in 2020 and beyond. Going digital would enable them to adopt some of the latest products coming to market, whilst also being supported by technology partners that provide that complete service to satisfy an organisation's digital needs. Now, earlier, Andrew, you also mentioned 67% of those surveyed were looking to invest in digital over the next year. Now, I'm glad to hear that, because in a survey conducted by Zanders last year, we saw that even though 2/3 of respondents to a digital preparedness survey indicated that they're already engaged and experimenting with digital solutions, only 14% of those had a digital treasury strategy. So it looks like we're definitely moving in the right direction with your latest numbers. But the next question becomes, how do you achieve this in an efficient and structured way? One of the areas we think is quite obvious is to not look at just lifting and shifting your existing processes. What we suggest is developing a digital treasury strategy to define your technology requirements. In order to have a good strategy, you need to look holistically at your business, consider how it could evolve, and what treasury needs to do not only now, but in the future to support that business. For example, a rapidly scalable and deployable structure might be required if, for example, your business is one that often undertakes mergers and acquisitions.
Yeah, absolutely. That's very interesting, because what we see is a clear expansion of responsibility for the Treasury function. Gone are the days where Treasury is purely responsible for the Treasury activity. Treasury now may cover tax, insurance, the receivables portfolio, the accounts payables function. There's lots of areas now that fall under the Treasury remit. And this is really why technology that is selected needs to underpin all those services and all of those workflows and decision-making points. And therefore, the platform needs to go across the entire financial ecosystem. So the importance of technology and the teams with deep domain expertise is becoming less important to achieve that rapid digitalization. And that's partly because, as per this survey, 73% of those surveyed now expect significant simplification of the Treasury technology adoption process and the setup process. So technology, although more sophisticated, technology should be deployed on a platform. It should also become simple to adopt. That is the key premise of any strong technology. And therefore, the expertise is now really focused on understanding the full potential that can be derived from a technology framework, which that framework should now fall across all aspects of the ecosystem. So not only Treasury, but the payables and the receivables, and delivered as a service.
Yeah, building more on what you said there about internal digital expertise, that's often what we see as the key barrier for organisations to successfully deliver their transformations. I think for all of those organisations that have indicated they're ready to invest in digital, I'd really like to stress that point. Now, don't get me wrong, you could implement a system replicating your current processes, but for true digital transformation, you need either that large internal team of digital transformation experts, or you need an external partner such as Zanders to help assess and plan your strategy, to help redesign your processes, and to help with implementing and maintaining them. Alongside that, it's obvious to say you also need a software solutions vendor. One that is ideally stable, financially secure, experienced in that latest technology, and can support you now and into 2021 and beyond. What can be advantageous is choosing a vendor that can offer multiple products, such as the TMS, the aggregation of payments, order to cash, IBAN, bank fee analysis. I mean, the list goes on here, but as you can see, one vendor who can provide a variety of services is going to be a great benefit to your organisation.
Yeah, thank you, Neil. So just in closing, a few remarks from my observations. How is this transformation delivered? How is digitisation really achieved? And this is really driven through people with expertise. People with expertise are essential to pull this transformation project together. People's expertise is again delivered as a service. We rarely see these days expertise managed and maintained in-house. This is an external service delivery. And the technology side of things, an organization needs to deploy technology on supportable platforms where technology can collaborate. It's very essential that we have the ability to go through this digital transformation so that we can yield full risk mitigation. We can harmonize process. We can facilitate the visibility across all aspects of the workflow in real time, and we can enforce compliance of the organization. And that in summary is how I see the benefits of a digital transformation. So with that, I'd just like to thank you very much, Anil, for joining with me on this presentation, and I hope everybody has found this useful.
Thanks, Andrew. Always a pleasure. Thanks all.